shiny head.
No kidding. Put in glare on the camera with my
Yeah.
bald head.
All right, it is 6:30 and we're gonna, oh. I haven't got the word to go yet, sorry.
Spotlight on your face right there.
For 2 more minutes. 3 more.
Which way you gotta go?
Kent Street.
Bounce a chair down?
Almost right here. This is perfect.
Yeah. All right, we're ready? Okay, live action. All right, welcome to City Council. We'll call this meeting to order today, the 15th of August. It's crazy to think our second meeting's almost done for the month. So we'll start off with Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Panunzio, and then a prayer moment of silence by Councilman Jenkins. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear kind Father in heaven, we are indeed grateful today for this beautiful city that we call home, Plain City. We're thankful for the community that we have been able to build here, the citizens of this great community. And please bless that we can have thy spirit with us tonight, that we can direct the city business as the citizens would have it and as thou would have it. And we love thee and we say these things in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you both. First item is approval of the minutes from August 1st. Anybody see any corrections? How about a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes for August 1st, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. All right, public comments. Anybody here wish to address the council? Throw me a pen.
Knew I was coming up. My name is Glenn Ramey.
I'm
I
glad
live
you
at-
brought the sign. Hold it up for the cameras.
Where's the camera?
Yeah, just, yep, right there, that'll work.
Over there, turn around.
Right there.
There it is.
Go.
Perfect.
There you go.
So this is first of all an invite to come to this on the 24th,
Okay.
right?
9 days.
It'll be awesome. Lions Club Park. Second, I'm here to talk about amphitheater. Now I know things have been in the works with other things, rec center, things like that. But I just want to make sure that money that's been donated, some of those people are here, is allocated appropriately. And then I know that the city still has 300,000, I believe, is the last figure from a few years ago that was going to be allocated towards an amphitheater or stage of some kind. Now, the one that we had planned obviously might be too big and too much. That was on the end of Lee Olson here. So if other things need to be done or whatever, but that's my public comment.
I love it.
That's it.
Yes, everything is still allocated and ear tagged.
Wonderful.
Okay?
Yes, I know you are.
Yep. So it's not forgotten
It's not forgotten.
at all.
That's why we're here.
Hopefully it's integrated.
Yes. Well, integrated would be fine too,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Great.
So, no, I think
Any
I
questions?
think most of us, I think I speak for most of us, we want to see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not forgotten by no means. So,
All right.
okay, thank you. Come on up. Oh, we need your name and address, please.
That was Glenn Raby.
No, we'll figure yours out.
I'm Matt McBride, 4465 West, 1650 North. And I'm here as well to speak to the fundraising that was done for the amphitheater, as well as funding for the proposed rec center. And I don't want to say that I'm not opposed to a rec center, but the fundraising that was done for the amphitheater was specifically for the amphitheater, and some of us donated in-kind design work for the amphitheater, as well as money. And I know you're saying it's not forgotten or earmarked, but I think it would be disingenuous to use that money that was specifically donated for an amphitheater to use to help get a grant for a rec center. I'm not opposed to a rec center. I think it'd be useful. I think it'd be used well, but and to incorporate an amphitheater into a rec center, again, I don't want it to just be an arts room. I don't want it to be I would think it'd be disingenuous to be kind of an offset side of something of a rec.
So, right now, that was on our TRC, so, and Shauna attended that, so I'm not sure what kind of discussion actually was given to the developer, but he gave us a conceptual plan. So,
Okay.
any questions or comments regarding that?
Probably none that you can answer. Right?
Right.
So, okay.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Blake.
Thank you.
All right, first item is conditional final acceptance of Heritage North subdivision. If you would like. Reading through engineers' comments and also Dan's comments, looks like we got some drainage that needs to be worked on and completed.
A drain?
A drain, yeah, it just says drainage issue described in the indicated inspection report.
So I believe that the drain that you're talking about is at the very north end of the road. That's not on the construction drawings at all. Like, we've completed all the work for the subdivision. We buried a ditch through there, and it did create some pooling. I talked to Dan about digging it up and putting in some gravel detention. He asked about trying to pipe it into the pipe, but the problem is it's a pressure pipe now, so the pipe we buried actually runs the irrigation water out. So if we did pipe it into that, it would just back it into the road more. I mean, it would, when we were not irrigating, it would go out faster, but there's not a lot we can do there. But the subdivision is complete. So, for what that's worth.
Dan, do you want to talk to the council about this and fill us in a little bit on what?
Yeah, talking with Cody, he said that he would go ahead and address that drainage issue to the north because it's flooding out the driveways, and the water, I've seen it come past about halfway up, back up the road, and we've got to have it built the plan or not. If there's a drainage issue, we've got to have that fixed. So, but I'm in favor of going into conditional final and putting it under warranty base because all city improvements are completed up to standard and everything's good with it. And Cody said he'd work on that drainage issue. So.
What kind of work would we need to do to prevent the driveways from flooding?
We either
What,
have to.
what could we do?
We either have to build a big enough detention area at the end between the road and the pipe to hold the water, or we will have to stub into that and maybe put a screw stop on it or a flapper valve inside of it so it can't back up into the road. I mean, there's some options we have, but right now we haven't done anything yet.
And this is with irrigation water, right?
So no, yes, it's irrigation, flood irrigation water, not pressurized.
So whose water is it that's backing up?
Well, it's just rainwater.
Well, it's rainwater, like when it rains on the street runs to the north. And, I mean, the design was to run it off the road, but when we piped the ditch there,
Then it has
it
no-
kind of blocked the road from draining off. So, it's not really I mean, it is backing up, and Dan is right, like it has backed up as far, like with a, 2 or 3 day rain event, it has backed up to where there's one driveway that is affected. It's an auxiliary, like it's an ADU for the backside of that house right there. To my knowledge, and I hope to heck, that nobody's ever complained about it because my son lives there. But yeah, it should be less than problematic for the city. But I mean, it does need to be addressed, I agree, like within the year period, like we need to figure something out that we can try to make work.
Like cutting in a catch basin, something like that, or a,
Well, I mean, a catch basin would just fill up with water if it doesn't drain into something else,
okay,
so.
okay.
If we motion to have this done, whose job is it to fix the water issue? Is it Cody's or is it the city's?
Well, it's created by the development, right? So,
I mean, I agree, it's kind of my job. If I created a problem, we need to fix it the best way we can. One day that road will go through, and at that point,
Right, then
the
we'll not
ditch will
have-
come out and new measures will be taken to take the stormwater somewhere. I mean, one day it won't be a problem at all, but for right now, we need to do what we can.
you want to give us a time frame on when you think you might be able to get that addressed and
I mean,
fixed?
I think Dan nailed it, like, make it a warranty item for the 1-year thing, and we'll make sure we have it done this year, or we're not gonna see the money back.
Okay,
The only time I've seen it being an issue is in the wintertime. And if that's the only time it's doing it when they're not running the irrigation, maybe that's the ideal thing, is just drop it in there and put a flapper valve on it.
A flapper valve could work, yeah.
okay, great. All right. Any questions, concerns, comments about a motion?
A motion to that we approve the conditional final acceptance of Heritage North subdivision.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, perfect. The next one is conditional final for Sunset, which is just to the north of it. All right, so let me find the right sheets here.
I know.
All right. So this one, if you'll look at a drawing with me, it's the first drawing. It shows the widths of the road. It says 51.5 feet on this south end of the road. This is 2600 right here. This is North Plain City Road way down here. But we've got our 60-foot right-of-way down on the north end, but when we get up to Mr. East's house,
We're 8.5 feet short.
we narrow down to a 51.5-foot road, which we were okay with shifting the road and losing some footage of our right-of-way, because we wanted it to line up with the adjacent street across the street, right? Across 2600. So we wanted that alignment, and so we're willing to fudge a little bit. But one thing, if you'll look at another page, I'll tell you which one here in a second. It says old plan on it. You'll see you'll see our 10-foot off the road, kind of right away through the 4 lots. And then there's a narrow one that runs along that. That was a 5-foot strip when Cody developed Palmer Heritage. That ended up in a lawsuit between 2 landowners of a right-of-way that one gentleman thought he had because he irrigated through there. That ended up getting settled in court, and Mr. East won that court case. But originally, that was going to be part of our road width, so we'd have been at 56.5, and we would have been able to put a sidewalk along that edge with a 4-foot mow strip. Well, now that 5-foot is gone. Or no, we wouldn't have had a mow strip. We would have just had it right up against the curb and gutter because we'd narrowed the road. Well, when they lost that, our curb and gutter is now right up against his property. There's a fire hydrant on his private property, and we have no sidewalk from those 4 lots to continue south to 2600. And me and Cody went out there and looked at it. Cody and Dan have looked at it and had discussions, possibilities on what to do. Planning Commission, when they first looked at this subdivision, I got calls from them asking, you know, does Mr. East's lot fall into the subdivision? And it did not, because they didn't subdivide his property, you know, or that plat, just the plat behind him. And so somehow or another, that 5 feet, he put a fence up and he's put landscape rock and some big boulders on it, just to kind of protect his fence, but sure like to get sidewalk there. So I don't know how we go about this. That was kind of part of our agreement with Palmer Heritage back then, was that that sidewalk would continue, and now we don't even have the possibility to continue it.
Why do we not have the possibility?
Because it's private property now. That was, Cody was, we go back, weren't you thinking when that originally happened that you were gonna end up with that, right? That 5-foot strip, if I remember right.
No. So I mean, we're going back in history and getting completely sidelined off of Sunset Estates here, but when we did Palmer subdivision is what he's brought the road all the way over to the west, that it would line up and be the safest for not having an offset intersection. So that was how it was approved, that was how it was presented, and that was everything. So the 5-foot strip that was in limbo of who owns what where was the 5-foot strip that's from the back of curb to, you know, that Jim owned. And that is all that was there. Like, there's not an extra 5-foot strip. So we have, the right of way is smaller, but the road width is true. Like the paved portion, the curb and gutters are for, like, they're a right to public works standard size. So we're not missing anything except for an area to put a sidewalk in. And at the time, when no one was we're putting a sidewalk down one full side of the road, and anybody that did build on the other side could use that sidewalk on that side of the road. That's the last I ever heard of it until this Sunset thing came up. And I haven't seen the documents that you guys are all looking at. I can grammar request those, but I would say that the city is not going to get a sidewalk on that side unless they want to take that ground and, you know, go through the process and do the sidewalk on that side, or wait until Jim was to subdivide his property. There is room for another lot behind his home, and if he subdivided his property, then that would be the time to say, okay, well, we need to get a sidewalk from here down. Sunset Estates is the 4 lots on the north side of this. So what we're asking for today is the conditional final acceptance of Sunset Estates, which is just a 4-lot subdivision. All the utility improvements are in. The only thing it's missing is the sidewalk, and by state statute now, we're doing that at the end of the homes. So if you have any other questions on that, I'm happy.
With good reason. So Dan, in our conversations, we're looking at, and should it affect Sunset? I don't know. Probably, technically, I don't know. But we're looking at a non-conforming road now, right?
No, not necessarily, because it's not a requirement to have sidewalk. So it's just something that, if we're gonna build
Okay.
a subdivision behind that, if we're gonna build a subdivision behind that, to the north, then we're gonna get phone calls from those residents going, why is the sidewalk just stop right here? We get it all the time on the other sidewalks, and that's, like I said, and that's common, you know, when you have more development to come in the future. But this is gonna sit limbo, and so, I mean, I'm on the fence of even why bother putting the sidewalk on them other 4 lots? Because I hate dead-end sidewalks.
Continue it to the end. Until you can continue it to the end, why put them in?
What's that?
Instead of waiting, so what you're saying is, we don't need it in the 4 because we can't continue it. Okay,
Yes, and there's no
I-
future development to that unless Jim decides to do something and we're able to obtain some of that property. But with that 5-foot strip going into Jim's property, now it's all one. Before it was a separate tax ID number, and like I said, it was part of the sunset plan. And to have that 5-foot strip on there, and that's where I'm like, hey, we're missing on the new plan, we're missing that 5-foot strip. And I understand there was a court battle and everything else, but let's not just have dead end sidewalk that we have no future intention on carrying that to 2600. So,
Okay.
right?
10-4.
But as towards the subdivision, yes, everything, curb and gutters in, and yeah, we can go from there.
Oh, yeah, no, it all looks nice over there. Yeah, I just wanted to bring those concerns up and just so, because we had talked about them and discussed everything, so. Okay, any questions, comments? Motion?
I'll motion to accept that we do a conditional final acceptance. Wow, that was tough. For the Sunset Estates subdivision.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank
Okay.
you, council.
There we go. Thanks, Code.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Approval of the street maintenance projects. Oh, no, cameras.
Wait a minute, cameras.
Cameras.
Oh, we don't want to pay him.
Cameras were next.
No, let's not pay him.
Thanks anyway.
All right, we'll go with it. United Defense Systems, cameras in the parks. Jen, I don't think you were here last meeting when we discussed, right?
Right, but
Did you go through
I
and,
read the minutes and
Oh,
I've got a
perfect.
whole detailed thing right here.
well, it was a great
I'm like going, wow.
PowerPoint that he put together for us, great presentation. The council, as you saw in the minutes,
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
yeah,
Pressed.
impressed and working through legal to make sure that we could do it the way we did. Anyway, you're all up to speed.
Yep, looks good.
Any questions, discussion? How about a motion?
I make a motion to approve the, approve the proposal.
Yeah, for 100,
United Defense Systems for $155,260.88.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Perfect, thank you.
It's gonna be good.
Our parks are safer now.
Almost.
Not yet, almost.
I've got a check for him for half of it, it's on your bills. I don't want to sit here and you don't have to.
That'll work.
Yep, that'll work.
Okay, how about street projects? CMB striping, they did our stuff last year and they did a phenomenal job for us.
I talked to Diane about the issue that was in there, so I'm good. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I saw there was a
I saw mention of it, but I didn't.
it come out to 90 cents that the city was in favor of engineer bid versus theirs. So we got 90 cents.
Okay.
I know.
We profited, no, I'm sorry.
Consequently,
So,
okay. All right, any questions on this? Parsons, just so the public knows, CMB striping was 387,000. Parsons was 446, and Post was 447. Brian is a resident of Plain City. I actually talked to him on the phone yesterday. I knew this had gone in. I didn't know the bids had been opened or anything, and he says, I'll be danged if I'm gonna have somebody come and pave my road, you know? And so, he really sharpens his pencil for Plain City. I think his bid was a lot like this last year, where he just really treats us well, and he does great work, so really happy with him, so glad he bid it again. How about a motion, unless somebody has anything to say?
Motion to approve the 2024 street maintenance project bid.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we have a resolution for the agreement with Hanson Planning Group. We've, oh, hello, Mike. Appreciate you being here.
There he is.
There you are. We've kind of talked through this a few times.
Yeah, he's been the one, as you know, that helped us with the subdivision,
Ordinance.
that
yeah.
big change with the subdivision ordinance, and so we just felt like it would be nice to have somebody that was an expert in planning if we had a question that came up. So this is not like a set amount per month of any kind, it's just, we have somebody that we can speak to if we have an issue, that if we need someone to show up to a meeting for a particularly complex item, that kind of stuff, so.
Yep. All right. Any questions, comments?
I don't think so.
How about a motion? What number is it?
2024-11.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the agreement with Hanson Planning Group.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Business licenses, short list. Bright Stars Preschool, Swift Rain Gutter, and Van Row Photography. Any questions? How about a motion?
Motion to approve the business licenses as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. And should we pay the bills?
And we're done.
Hi, Mom.
Carol Jean.
It's something
Yes.
somewhere. Oh, no. How rude. Oh,
How rude.
All right, any questions on the bills? The big check already walked out of here, so I hope we.
One of the
Yeah, one
few.
of them. Brandon's was the other one. How about a motion?
Okay. I will make a motion to approve the warrant register for August 1st through August 13th, 2024.
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
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 Perfect, thank you. Council reports. Councilman Panunzio.
I have nothing to report.
Councilman Jenkins.
Also, nothing to report this week.
Councilwoman Wilson.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I should say this or not. We interviewed and we hired somebody down at the landfill. His name is Brett Howard. And that's all I have.
Perfect. Good, good. Glad you were on that?
Interview
hiring-
board.
Yeah, interview board. That's awesome. Okay, I don't think do I?
Do you want to make mention of that? I put it in your.
Yeah, the Weaver, I left it on my desk. So the Western Weaver County Active Transportation Committee is having a city staff, elected officials, and advocacy folk. They're doing a bike ride, I'm guessing? Or is it just a feedback? I didn't read it, sorry.
You all got it in your packet.
Yeah, it's all in your
Seen
packet.
it.
But I think it's just a feedback session for the Weaver County trails. Active transportation plan, that they're trying to do connectivity in all of our trails out here. Okay, I don't have anything else other than a thank you to all of our staff for,
Is anybody going to the League of Cities?
I'm not going to this
September 4th and
one.
5th.
It's next meeting.
Don't be at work.
I need to be excused for the next meeting.
Oh, and I did forget to excuse our missing council members tonight. I tend to forget that quite often, but they're
Well,
excused.
we all know where they are, so I know.
All right, one more motion.
To adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good deal. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
So who oversees this? The